Everybody, it's Nate Scott from Windermere and Anacortes, Mount Vernon, and Cedar Woolley. We are seeing a ton of questions online about what happens if you're a tenant and you can't pay your rent, what happens if you're a homeowner and you can't make your mortgage payment, or what happens if you're a landlord and your tenants aren't paying your rent. You then are going to miss a mortgage payment on the building that you own. And here's a brief rundown of where we are today, and this is March 25th. This, by the way, I expect to change rapidly over the next couple weeks, so we'll post an update at some point. But currently, FHA insured mortgages, which is the vast majority of the mortgages out there, they have a 90-day moratorium on evictions or foreclosure proceedings. So if you find yourself behind and you're FHA insured, they're not going to start any action, at least for the next 90 days. Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae loans, and I'm going to take this from the Freddie Mac website, and I'm assuming Fannie Mae is the same or extremely similar. They have mortgage forbearance for up to 12 months available. So if you've got a Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae loan, you might want to contact your bank and talk to them about this. Now, all of these things are going to be triggered by hardship via the COVID-19 virus. So you got to be able to prove that hardship. And that would be like losing your job, being laid off, etc. They're waiving penalties and late fees. They are halting foreclosures and evictions at least through May 17th, 2020, and I'm quite sure that'll get extended. And they are suspending credit reporting. So if you are late, it's not going to affect your credit. They're not going to report that. And they are offering loan modifications in some cases. So that's what's going on with Freddie Mac, and making the assumption Fannie Mae is the same. Also, if you happen to be a multifamily owner, they are, if your tenants are not paying rent and you can show that, you can get away without paying your mortgage for a little bit, and that's a conversation you got to have with your bank about that. Bank-wise, there are a whole host of banks, and we'll post a link down below to the banks that I know of at this time, but there's a whole host of banks that are offering mortgage relief. And what you got to do is you look at your bank statement, figure out who holds the note, and call the servicer and talk to them about what's going on. And if you have COVID-related hardship, there's a lot of banks who are offering relief despite without any direction from FHA, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, or your state government. Washington State, Governor Inslee put a 30-day moratorium on evictions if you're a tenant. So if you can't pay your rent this month, your landlord cannot evict you, at least for the next 30 days. Speaking from property management standpoint, we have not seen much of this in the properties we manage. Our take on this is, if you can't pay your rent, call us. We're going to talk to the landlord and try and work something out. Certainly, they're held to the rules that the governor put in place, but the goal is to keep everyone in their home, and at some point let that landlord catch up on back rent. And as far as communities that we manage, so HOAs, the ones we do manage so far, I think all have said that they, and this is voluntarily by the decisions made by the boards, that they're not going to charge late fees on dues. Of course, the dues still have to be paid at some point, but they're going to waive the late fees, and that's a community by community decision. And it just seems to be that the goodwill of the people is kicking in those instances, and they all understand that this is a tough place to be right now, and are making decisions based on that to offer some relief to homeowners. So that's where we are as of March 25th in regards to mortgage relief, rental relief, and what landlords can do if their tenants aren't paying. We will post an update here in the next week or so, and things I'm sure are going to change, and those relief packages will broaden. More banks will take them on and offer them. The news for you, if you're in Washington and a tenant and you can't pay your rent, you're not going to be evicted, at least for the next 30 days. If you're a homeowner and you can't make your mortgage payment, call your bank. Look at your mortgage statement, find out who's servicing it, give them a call. Decent chance that they're offering some relief. You just have to show why you have the hardship, and that could be loss of job, loss of income if you're self-employed, etc. So make those calls early, get at the front of these lines if you're in trouble, And again, we'll update you as soon as these things change, or in about a week, as mass changes happen. Talk to you soon.